Hi guys, the REV-46 is the best SMG in Warzone for most players. The reason I say that isn't because it has the fastest time to kill on paper, but because of how consistently it performs in real gunfights. The REV-46 was one of the SMGs introduced last season, and after a few nerfs and adjustments, it kind of faded out of the commonly used options. But once you actually look at how it performs now, it becomes clear that the REV-46 should not be overlooked. It can compete with the top SMGs in Warzone, and in a lot of situations even outperform them. That mainly comes down to its consistent damage profile. The REV-46 has one of the most linear damage profiles of any SMG in Warzone. A damage profile is basically a calculation of damage per bullet per shot location. In the case of the REV-46, we can see its damage per bullet stays exactly the same for any damage dealt, except for headshots where a small damage multiplier then applies. This makes the REV-46 super forgiving, as shot placement does not negatively impact its overall time to kill potential. This damage profile is not a common feature of Black Ops 7 weapons. Take for example the VST, which is considered one of the meta SMGs in Season 3. Its damage profile is more aligned with most other SMGs, where shot placement plays a bigger role in its overall time to kill potential. For example, hitting a stomach or lower leg shot will do 5 damage per bullet less than a chest or neck shot. Now compare that to the REV-46 and you will see that the REV does exactly the same amount of damage for lower and upper body shots. 5 damage per bullet on a VST does not seem like much, but when you translate its damage profile to time to kill, then the difference becomes clear. As you can see, the REV-46 maintains a very similar time to kill value across most hit areas, sitting around 572 milliseconds for the majority of the body, where with the VST there's a much bigger difference depending on where you land your shots. You can see faster TTK values when hitting upper torso, but as soon as you drop down to lower body or limbs, the time to kill increases quite a bit. So while the VST might have a faster TTK in certain scenarios, it's much less forgiving if your accuracy isn't perfect. And that's really where the REV-46 stands out. Because the damage is so consistent, you're more likely to hit your effective TTK in real fights, which makes it a more reliable option overall. That's also why weapons like the VST can feel inconsistent, because depending on shot placement, your TTK can vary from 550 milliseconds all the way up to 660 milliseconds. Whereas on the REV-46, the slowest time to kill you're going to see is around 572 milliseconds, as long as you keep your shots on target. Last thing to mention is also the REV-46's fire rate. It's one of the fastest firing SMGs in the game, which also adds to how forgiving it is. So when you take into account the consistent damage profile, the reliable time to kill and the fast fire rate, then you realize why I consider the REV-46 to be the best SMG for most players in Warzone. Now let's take a quick look at the class setup I recommend using. The REV-46 is a bit limited in terms of its base mobility and recoil control, so this build will be designed to balance those two areas. First up is the Lethal Tools ELO, mainly for a clear and precise sight picture. The iron sights on the REV-46 aren't the best, so an optic makes a noticeable difference here. Next, we're running the Hawker Series 45 to help improve overall recoil and consistency. It provides a noticeable reduction in vertical recoil, which you'll see more clearly in the upcoming recoil test. Our third attachment will be the LTI dorsal barrel, which further improves our recoil control while also providing a small boost to ADS speeds. For the fourth attachment, we're running the Komodo extended mag for maximum ammo capacity. This is especially important on a fast firing SMG like the REV-46, because you burn through ammo quite quickly. Our last attachment will be the recoil sync unit to help smooth out any remaining recoil and keep the weapon as consistent as possible. So overall, this setup is aimed at balancing recoil control with mobility and handling. The main goal is to make the weapon as consistent and forgiving as possible in real gunfights. With the build out of the way, let's see how the REV-46 performs in terms of recoil. Looking at the recoil pattern, it has a steady vertical climb with a slight pull to the left, and most importantly, it's very smooth and predictable. This consistency makes it easier to control, which ties directly into why this weapon performs so well in real gunfights. So in terms of a final takeaway, the REV-46 is definitely one of the best SMGs to currently use in Warzone. It has one of the most consistent damage profiles, which in turn means it can even outperform other meta weapons like the VST and Kogot. It's the perfect SMG for most players and I highly recommend giving it a go. If you found this video helpful, please feel free to drop a like or maybe subscribe for more Warzone videos, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.